changes life. Gareth Maguire brings players over here. They go into colleges, they do master's degrees and so on, and they get a chance to play at a Super League or maybe Div.1 league level. And there's two players here today. We've got Christine Gainser and Jen Morabitu. It's good for the game to bring these girls and fellas in.
Yeah, these players have all had experience in universities in America, so they've been coached, and so what they can bring to Irish basketball comes from a player standpoint, but who have been coached. So it just ups our game a lot more, and it's not just the coaches saying it, that the player shows it. So it'd be nice if more players could be spread out across the clubs, though.
Yeah, so. That's something, Megan, yourself and Shelby Smith, you came in differently, and probably most of the others. Do you think what Todd is saying would be a good idea? Now, I'm not trying to put you out of a job now or anything like that, but do you think we should be looking at more of this kind of thing for the Irish game?
Yeah, I think the sport changes life is great. It brings in Americans, especially with clubs that don't have a lot of, money and finances to bring in players. It definitely levels the playing field out, and I think it's great to have American players. That it brings a different element into the game. It makes it a lot more competitive in a sense. If every team had that, just from their talent and their experience from playing over in the States, sort of thing. So it would be great to see more over here for sure.
We're almost at tip-off. The players, Mark Ingle, they're giving his players the last few words. Owen Chubb has already finished. He's got a starting five out on the court. Quickly, who's going to win this game?
No comment on my part. I think it'll be a good game, a close game, and may the best team win.
Sitting on the fence. You'll get a sore bum. Todd, who do you think? Come on.
Trinity will win because, first of all, they've got a little more size than DCU and a little more experience.
Okay, so Todd is going to go with that, and we're now going to have a minute's silence for the tragic death during the week. A moment's silence there, beautifully observed, for the tragic death of Donald Green, died in Cavan during the week, and of course a member of the NUIG team, men's team, who are playing in the men's final here after this. And I know it's extremely difficult for everybody involved in basketball, but it must be particularly bad for those involved in NUIG. We're off. And as I said, we've got Megan Hoffman and Todd James with us here in the commentary box. Mimi Clark. Lindsay Peat, of course, Dublin Gaelic footballer as well. Clark for outside. Big rebound, Aoife McDermott. Of course, Aoife plays her club basketball with Meteors alongside Christine Gainser. Taken by Lindsay Peat. Outside. First score. Lindsay Peat. Kiva Moore. Moore from outside.
Oh.
And doesn't drop. Trinity in red. The white, navy and yellow of DCU. Gainser gives it inside. Rebound is taken. The shot from Rebecca O'Keefe, daughter of Vinnie O'Keefe, who's your coach at Liffey Celtics.
Liffey Celtics, yes he is.
And Moore gets the second basket. Colester, young player. You'd be familiar enough with Kiva.
Yep, over at Colester there. She's shooting the ball so far very well.
Yeah.
Which is tough here at these at the arena here. It's always
which is
tough
difficult,
to shoot.
Yeah.
So
foul there on Tessa Solon. First foul, and we've got a timeout already. Todd, a coach, Owen Chubb, very, very quickly into the game. What, 2 minutes gone? He's not happy with something, and he's called a timeout.
The DCU is playing man, and I think that's probably bothering him a little bit. You know, just trying to get the ball into the right people at the right time. They're obviously trying to move the ball inside to the bigger players, which is where their advantage is. But we'll see. I don't know.
Can you see why Owen Chubb has wanted that timeout so quickly?
yeah, you know, it's important to get off to a good start at the start of the game. And
DCU have done.
DCU hit those 2 baskets, so it's probably just a little bit of a regroup. You know, make sure that that girl, that Quiva Moore, is guarded.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So we'll see what he has to say. We'll see if we can, if you guys, the experts here, can come up with what he has done to change whatever he was doing. We'll see very quickly if he's come up with some plan. Aoife McDermott, of course, played with UL last year and is in Trinity and playing with Meteors. That one's not dropping either. Good drive, unlucky. Mimi Clark for DCU to Lindsay Peat. Peat from outside is short. There was speculation during the week that Lindsay may not be playing, but she's here alive and kicking. Nice one from outside. Amy Russell. That shot. They're having problems, Megan, with the rims, or
I think the DCU's not having a problem at all with the shooting, but UCD, I think that they need to work the ball inside. That's where their advantage is with Aoife McDermott and Christine Gainser. And
I mean, they've got the 2 biggest girls on the court in McDermott and Gainser.
They do, but you know, surprisingly, you've got Lindsay on Gainser, which is. Lindsay's a guard, but she's very tough, you know, so it's a great matchup on them.
Well, Lindsay is a Gaelic footballer who's tough and doesn't mind who she comes up against, because she's used to coming up against 6-foot-odd guys in Gaelic football games. So
and so far she's doing a great job. She's doing a great job against them. There's Christine for 2 points there.
Christine Gainser makes the 2. Lindsay Peat on the point for, well, it's a little bit dodgy there. The steal coming from Levy, Claire Levy, who of course plays for Wildcats in Waterford. Knocked out by Levy.
Yeah, the Trinity defense is picking up as you.
Yes, it has. Yeah, it has.
Trying to force the turnovers.
Kiva Moore gives it to Lindsay Peat. Peat for DCU outside to Mimi Clark for 3. That one doesn't drop. Well rebounded. Excellent score there. Excellent score, Tessa Solon. Todd, DC are doing nicely here.
They're rebounding for their size. They're moving a lot to the ball. As Morbido gets into the game more, Ganser will hurt them more as a guard than as a post player, because she can shoot.
And Ganser again there.
But I'll tell you what they are doing. They're not pressuring the shot. They're just letting the girls shoot.
Yeah. Eight points to 4, double scores. That one's not dropping. Taken by Lindsay Peat. Lindsay on the drive. Lindsay doesn't go all the way. Taken by Ganser. Or McDermott, sorry. Inside, McDermott sets herself up. That was good. She took a rebound here, Megan. Finished it down there.
Yeah, Aoife's very good at the transition offense.
That's exactly
for a
how
post player. She runs the floor well.
That's actually how she scored a lot of her points when she played for Limerick. Just running the court and getting layups.
Yeah. That's nice. Again, Amy Russell. Four points for Amy Russell, 4 points for Kiva Moore, 2 points for Tessa Solon. That's the 10-point total for DCU. And for Trinity, we've got 4 points for Christine Gainser and 2 for Aoife McDermott. Knocked out of Lindsay Peat's hands. Katrina White says it's a white ball. We've substitutes for Trinity and a timeout called. Second timeout.
This
was that one called by Mark?
This one was called by Mark.
Yeah, okay. Mark is seeing something that he's not happy with.
Yeah. They're starting to get the ball inside with Aoife and Christine, so they're going to have to stop that inside game and also box out. That's very important. Trinity's had a couple of second chance shots there, so they got to make sure that they're taking care of the rebounds there.
Todd, you mentioned there Aoife McDermott, a superb player when she was with Limerick, and you know, obviously difficult.
Run to the right and maybe run the left, so she knows she's got options. Not run to the left, you run it right. Then if we go 1, 2, 3, just come into this position. Okay, but meet me here. All right. Now, 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Okay, Lindsay take it in. Tessa down low with Amy. Okay, just open up the gap. Let Amy come through for the shot. Hit her there, shot. If that's not open for you here, go here and then get into your offense. Only 9 seconds now. Let's get a good shot.
DCU.
Right now, what the biggest problem in that zone is that they're not moving. So they're giving shots, and that probably falls to DCU more because their girls, they have a couple girls who can shoot the 3 and shoot outside. Mimi Clark and Amy Russell both.
Yeah, they both can. Yeah, Lindsay Peat from outside. No, that was a wasted shot. Or was it a shot? Maybe it was meant as a pass into.
Well, no, it was a shot. Lindsay, she just needs to, get
settle
into
down,
the game,
settle
down a little bit.
Can I say something to you there? She played in the cup for DCU.
She did. Yes.
Didn't play in the league.
Correct.
Is it difficult to come in and out? I know this is colleges, but is it difficult for her to come in and out?
I think that I do think it's difficult, and you saw in the cup semifinal against Glanmire that it is tough to not be playing in the whole season.
In the regular
go in
season,
and play in that sort of intense game against a great
team.
So I do think that was tough
difficult,
for her, difficult for the team.
Yeah, Lindsay was 2 for 13 in that game.
In that game,
So probably
there's the equalizing score there. Coming from good ball back to Pete. Pete to Kiva Moore. Moore with the baseline shot. Well read. 1 and away to Gainser. The last basket there scored by Jen Morbito, the sports changes life girl who's over here. And
she's over here playing for the Oblets.
Oh, the Oblet Dynamo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's a great player, a great guard, a great shooter.
Yeah.
So.
Christine Swatsky. We've a few more substitutions. Lindsay Pete for DCU. Shoves it inside to Mimi Clark. The shot comes back out. Levy. I was very impressed. I saw Levy play for Maxwell Wildcats a couple of weeks ago. Very impressed. Two Levy sisters, and she was particularly impressive.
Yeah, she's a good little guard, and she's very aggressive.
Yeah.
She's a great defender, very quick.
Yeah.
So
they're putting more pressure on Lindsay out high.
They are, yeah. They're pushing her out as far as possible. Morabitu outside. Oh, that's a nice one. Beautiful baseline shot there from the number 11.
Swatsky.
Christina Swatsky. Obviously from Eastern European background. That one doesn't drop for Mimi Clark. Mimi Clark is a confidence player. If they're going in, she'll shoot everything. If they're not, it can be difficult.
yeah. Again, I think it's just getting used to the baskets. You've got to get more arc and more legs into your shot on these baskets here. So hopefully.
We've had a couple of offences there and no baskets. 13-10. Trinity lead. Levy. Swatsky. Morbito with the shot. Rebounded. Oh, that's a great steal. That was... Lindsay Pete just wasn't watching and her puck was picked really, really quickly there.
Yes, it was.
Pete. Still Pete. To Mimi Clark. A lot of very young players on the DCU team. I must say, this is an extremely young DCU team. Tessa Solon is getting ready to come back in. Mark Ingle is over talking to his captain, Mimi Clark, and saying to her, take it nice and easy, don't be rushing. Free throws coming up. First one is good for Amy Russell. Brings her total to 5 points. Two from two. Back to a 3-point game with 41 seconds to go in the first quarter. Amy Russell takes a break. Morabitu. Aoife McDermott. Shot from outside. Oh, it drops. Three. First three of the game.
Nice pass.
Well rebounded. Just 5 seconds to go. And that doesn't drop, and as we reach the end of our first quarter, after a good start, Trinity have now come back into the game and leading DCU by 18 points to 12, Megan.
Yeah, they struggled a little bit to start out the first couple minutes. I think it was just them getting used to the game, getting the feel for it and everything like that. They're starting to hit their shots. They're getting the ball inside. They're rebounding well and getting some steals here. on the defensive end to get them going in the transition on the offense. So they're doing well.
Todd, you've been around this arena for a long time, and everybody that we talk to will talk about how difficult it is to shoot. Is it that difficult to shoot, or is it something, a mental thing that people have coming into the arena?
Two things. You're in an arena where you're in a gym and the walls are maybe 15 feet away. Well, the walls here are probably 30 feet away.
Yeah.
So your depth perception is a little bit different. So it takes you time to, if you played in it, you
so
understand it.
So the fact that you've got your glass boards and behind that you've got seating that's going up into the sky.
Or possibly
so that makes
people. If you were in a college in America, they'd have people with things that they'd be twirling and try to distract you. Well, here, it's just the wall and the difference.
Yeah.
The rims are better. When this gym was built, you could not shoot in here. The rims were just absolutely like concrete. They're a lot better now, and it's become more of a shooter's gym. It's not a shooter's gym.
Okay. Have you played here many times?
I have played here a few times for the playoffs.
For DCU?
For DCU, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully to be there with
Liffey Celtics this time.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, oh, there's a lovely score.
That's her third score.
Yep.
That's Sawatsky again.
Yeah.
She's a 7-point game total, Sawatsky. Do we know anything about Christine Sawatsky?
I believe she's I think Norwegian. I think that's what Owen had said, but
Okay.
I'm not quite sure
You're not
where
quite
she
sure.
plays or anything about that.
That's, I mean, she's definitely been impressive, there's no doubt. Gainser is coming back in. Eva McDermott is coming out. And also...
Yeah, Stamstead just came in, and she's actually, somebody told me she's here studying medicine.
Seistad?
Yeah, she's from Norway.
Oh, so that's number
the
12. Yeah, so she's
just got the rebound.
an intelligent girl studying medicine in Trinity. Gainser back to Morabito. Morabito at the shot. That one doesn't go. 20 points to 12. 8-point lead for Trinity. Women's Division 1 final. Well taken. Kind of a careless foul there on Gainser. Probably no need to foul there. And Lindsay Peat just gets the ball from our official, Katrina White. Megan Connolly there, gives it back to Pete. Outside to Moore. Well rebounded by Solon. Probably a little bit rushed with the pass there. Sawatsky back to Morabito. Morabito inside the key. Well taken away to Pete. 8:20 to go. Pete is driving. Pete's still going. And that drops in. First score of the game for Lindsay Peat. Brings it back to a 6-point game.
Lindsay's great on the drive, you know.
She does, and she has no fear going in there.
No fear anyone gets in her way is gonna.
You'll get banged.
Be plowed over.
Well rebounded away. Tessa Solon with the rebound to Lindsay Peat. Peat running things. Oh, that wasn't quite what she anticipated. And she looks, and is that I made a mistake or you were in the wrong place?
I think it was a good idea. It was a good idea that it just wasn't the best pass. It wasn't a reachable pass, but it was the idea was right.
Morabito for Trinity. Seistad back to Morabito. There was foul there, called by Katrina White. I think that's a second on Tessa Solon. Yep. And free throw.
Christine Ganser.
Yeah. She's a big girl. Sister, of course, also plays for Meteors. 21-14. Pete driving again. This time doesn't go all the way. No. Morabito. She controls the game, doesn't she? She seems to be a good player, Morabito. She seems to know the game.
Yep.
Well, she's American. She should know it.
She looks like an American-style player,
she?
very controlled, and runs the offenses.
And she's
passer.
actually she's looking where she's putting the ball as well. She finds her players.
She's controlling the ball, but offensively, she hasn't even come into the game yet. If she gets going, it'll be in transition probably, because she's got good ball skills. So
Even McDermott there with the basket while you were talking there, Todd. That's another player you've been mentioning, of course, who's a terrific pedigree, having won everything with James Weldon's UL.
This is where if they get them on the run.
One of those unlucky fouls that I always call. Megan Connolly just ran into one another. Mark is having enough of what's going on at the moment. 23-14, a 9-point lead, and that's exactly what he didn't want. He wanted this game. Spoke with him yesterday. He wanted this game to be close, and then hoping that they could do something. He doesn't want 9-point game. Yeah,
I think they started the quarter. I think in the 4 minutes that they've been playing, there's only been the basket from Lindsay. So
that's right.
They're struggling to get the ball in the basket. So I'm sure that's what he's talking about right now.
I'm looking at the 5 that are out there, and the 2 that would have been scoring earlier on were Amy Russell and Kiva Moore. And they're not on the court at the moment. And then his main shooting threat normally is Mimi Clark, and she's sitting out. Is there a reason that he's sitting those out?
I think he looks like he's going to get those shooters back in.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Because certainly there's... he is, yeah. Yeah. Well, some of them are back in. Mimi Clark is back. Kiva Moore is back. Lindsay Peat, of course, still there. Inbound for Trinity with 6:40 to go. Morabito. Aoife McDermott. Sayestad knocked out by Gainser.
I tell you, Swarovski is going to shoot the ball every time she gets it. You can see it. Every time she turns to the basket, she looks to shoot.
To shoot, yeah. Yeah, and she's already scored 7 points. Mimi Clark to Lindsay Peat, shooting a 3. Oh, that's a big one. That's a very important score for DCU. It brings it back to a 23-17 lead, and it's something that Mark would definitely have wanted, and it's good to see Lindsay with the basket. That brings her total to 5 points. 5 minutes and 57 seconds to go. And Claire Levy is back into the game for Trinity. Lindsay Peat setting it up from the guard front. Kiva Moore to Mimi Clark. Clark to Lindsay Peat. Baseline shot, and again, Kiva Moore. This is the girl who started off so well.
Yeah. She'd made 3 shots in the same spot.
Yeah, and has scored 6 points. Morabito outside. Levy with the shot. Taken by Lindsay Peat. We're a 4-point game. Lindsay doesn't drop. Well rebounded away. Gainser to Morabito. Morabito outside to Levy. Morabito inside. That's good. That is good play, Gainser. With the basket, 6-point game total for Gainser. 4:50 to go. Second quarter. Lindsay Peat from outside. This time it doesn't drop. Well rebounded away. Levy. Morabito. Back to Levy, inside. McDermott. Well rebounded. Excellent score by Niamh O'Donovan.
I believe it was that Christine Syestad who got that. Christine Syestad who got that basket.
Oh, was
there.
it?
Yeah. Which gets her into the game.
Okay, okay. Marcus talking to Lindsay Peat, trying to get his point across to her. Possession is for DCU with 4 minutes to go. Lindsay Peat. Still Peat. Clark with the shot coming off the rim. Gains her. Oh. Morabito. Well taken by Solon. 3:35 to go. Clark to Peat. Kiva Moore is fouled. Foul called on Levy. And the stadium announcer telling us that that's her first personal foul. Taken by Jen Morabito. Nice one outside to Megan Connolly. Sorry, that's Rebecca O'Keefe. Lindsay Peat drives. Gives a lovely little dinky shot outside, but it doesn't go in.
Girls standing.
Tessa Solon, well rebounded. Levy for Trinity. Cancer doesn't take it. Clark inside Solon. That's nice work. That was nice work.
That was. I was speaking to Mark Engel before the game, and he knows that with their big players, it's tough. It's going to be tough inside for them. So they want to get the ball in transition as much as they can.
Yeah.
Just like they did there.
Yeah. Solon with the points there. 6-point game, 27-21, Trinity lead. Knocked out by Rebecca O'Keefe. And we have a timeout for Trinity with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. 29-21. What's Mark going to say? I know it's a timeout for Trinity, but what's Mark going to say now?
He's been talking to Lindsay, I could see. You know, he needs to get the ball down inside more. They're settling for too much outside. Mimi's a good shooter, but she's standing at about 28 feet for the whole game. She needs to either attack or move the ball and cut through. So there's a saying in basketball: you live with a bomb and you die with a bomb. They're living with almost all outside shot. They got a good transition basket there, but they need to get more inside and put more pressure on Trinity. Trinity's moving the ball better.
Would you agree with that, Megan?
Yeah, definitely. I think they are settling for outside shots. They're not working the ball around enough. It needs to get inside and out.
And when they got it inside that time, Tessa Solon converted.
Yeah, I think it's just about ball movement. They need to get the ball moved around a lot more so that they can get those open looks that are closer to the basket rather than settling for those outside shots.
Well, we're back here now with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. It's an 8-point game. Mark Engel not 100% happy, I would say, because as we said earlier on, he did want this game to be close in the first half, and it's an 8-point game. And there's Solon again. This is nice play. Lindsay Peat.
She did exactly what I said. She penetrated and threw the ball in somebody close.
Yeah. Solon got the basket. Morabito to Levy. Back to Morabito. Good steal. Back by Aoife McDermott. That was a travel. and it's a minute and 40 seconds to go. 29-23, it's a 6-point game. Lindsay Peat outside to Mimi Clark. Solon to Clark. Back to Moore. Peat outside. Clark. Not dropping at all for Clark today. Hasn't scored in the game so far. Levy from outside, goes in and out. Big rebound, taken by McDermott for 2. Into the last minute of the second quarter of the Ladies D1 final. And it's 31 points for Trinity, 23 for DCU. Amy Russell coming in. Just checking out who's coming out.
Yeah, Mark brought her in to shoot, Amy Russell.
Yeah. You haven't got much time left. Lindsay Peat outside to Moore. Moore doesn't make it. 42 seconds. Morabito. McDermott right outside. Well taken. Clark drives. Clark makes one. That's her first basket. 2 points for Mimi Clark. We're back to a 6-point game. 17 seconds on the watch. O'Keefe back to Morabito. Suatsi gave it outside to McDermott. And as we reach the end of our second quarter, quick roundup, Megan. 33 points to 25. How do you think it's going?
Well, I think Trinity right now looks like the better team. They're working the ball around a lot more. They're getting those offensive rebounds. So you have DCU working hard on the defensive end to not finish with a box out and a rebound, which is always tough and disheartening for a team. So they've got to make sure they take care of the rebounds and the box outs to limit that. And then, like we said earlier, just trying to get the ball inside and out more, moving the ball around more on their end to get easier shots rather than settling for the.
And Todd, very quickly, how do you think Mark will set up for the second half now?
Well, I think if he hopes to get back in this, I think they need to have Lindsay or whoever more penetration, kick the ball. And some of the girls can shoot, but they're out so far that if they kicks it in and they give it back out to them, they'll get easier shots. So I don't know. I think he'll stay with the same defense because they're not doing bad. It's only 33-25. So
yeah, it's only an 8-point game, and we're going to be having some interviews very, very shortly. And we've 8 minutes and 27 seconds before we start our second half of this game. We'll just take a very quick break.
Audio Jungle.
Div.1. You're very welcome back to the basketball arena here in Tala. Delighted to be joined by the chairperson of the Basketball Ireland Board of Basketball Ireland, Jackie Dunn. Jackie, there's exciting things happening now in Basketball Ireland. A lot of people over the years would say, they don't listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me a lot different now.
I am indeed. Thank you, Declan. I am. At the moment, as you know, we're going through a strategic review, and what we're looking to do is a short to medium to long-term view. But what's most important for us is it's from the grassroots up. So we've launched an online survey for all of our members. We also have a number of regional meetings around the country where we're welcoming the voice of all of our members, who really are the community of our sport, to help us and guide us on what they want the future of our game to be. And we'll analyse all of that, and then we'll look to what the future should be collectively.
So you don't have to be a player, you don't have to be a coach. You can be the person that pays your coupon every week to go and see a game. And if you've got something to say, you're going to listen.
Absolutely, we're going to listen to everything. Now, bearing in mind, obviously, we've over 300,000 people in the collective of the game. It will be difficult to listen to every voice, but we will take the collective and move forward in the manner that the sport needs and requires.
So that's big news. Okay, you're in your second year now as or third year as chairperson.
Yes.
When you came in, did you envisage going to improve at the rate that they have done?
If I'm being very honest, actually, no, I didn't. But very quickly with the team of directors I have working with me, I knew we all had the same vision. You know, working together with the President, Jerry Kelly, and the Council, and also with our CEO and his team, we collectively worked on what we need to do as a sport. So we had a lot of off days, which is where we had breakout days on Saturdays, Sundays, and we collectively got around a table to say, what do we need to do? So it was a lot of hard work, but effort that we knew was needed to take it where it needed to be. And I work with like-minded people, so from that perspective, the vision was there to try to make a difference. And thankfully.
Can you give us, in a one-liner, what is that vision?
Oh, okay. So the vision is a collective. It's all of us working together, but getting us back on the footing that we need to be. So getting internationals back where they need to be, upskilling the game, keeping our star players in our own country, providing facilities for them, and in essence really providing the framework around the sport that's required for everybody, be it coaches, players, referees, officials, everybody. So it's putting a good framework in place.
Jackie Dunn, exciting times ahead for Basketball Ireland, exciting times ahead for the sport. Delighted that you took the time to come to talk to us, and we'd like to wish you the very best.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks very much, Declan. Cheers.
And we'll be back with the second half of the ladies' final. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. It's an 8-point game. It's all to play for. Trinity against DCU. And you're very welcome back to the National Basketball Arena. Delighted that we got a chance to talk to the chairperson of Basketball Ireland Board, Jackie Dunn, and the plans that the association and the people involved have to try and bring the game to the next step. Obviously, we want to try and get it back to something like it was in previous years, and it's good to see that they're bringing in people and everybody can have their word from now on, and the strategic plan is well afoot. We're back in action. Oh, that's good. That's an excellent score. Seisted again. The medical student at Trinity. Mimi Clark. And Amy Russell.
Much better ball movement by DCU.
Yeah, that's an 8-point game total for Amy Russell. Seisted. Inside to McDermott. Well rebounded, Lindsay Peat. Now, Lindsay Peat should not have got that rebound, but she did.
She did. She's tough. You know,
yeah,
like we said, she's tough.
She goes in there and she gives it her all. Clark makes 2. That's second basket for Clark. 6-point game with 8 minutes and 55 to go. Sidestep back to Morabito. Morabito to Gainser. Gainser shoves it into McDermott. Good play, Megan.
Yep. Trinity are still working the ball around well, and Christine and Aoife are working really well together with the high-low post movements.
Mimi Clark to Lindsay Peat. Back to Peat. Shoves it right outside. Shot from Moore doesn't drop. That was a big football, Todd, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Big football there. And it's possession to Trinity. Levy gives the ball to referee Katrina White. Seistad back to Levy. Levy outside to Morabito. Still Morabito. Morabito from outside. Oh, that's a good score. That's a good score for Morabito. She'd gone off the boil a little bit in the first half, but that was a nice one.
Yeah, she is a great shooter, and I think that's what Owen wanted to get going for her, a game going for her. So you saw three screens in a row set for her there for that score.
It was nicely set. But Moore outside to Russell. Possession going to Trinity, despite Amy Russell's protestations. And of course, coming up after this, we have Carlow IT against NUIG Galway in the men's Division 1 final. And of course, a little bit of a downer on this one with the death of Donal Green during the week. And of course, Donal, very much a part of the NUIG setup, and would be very, very great friends with Ken Hansbury. So it's going to be tough for them, but I'm sure they're going to try and win it for Donal and his family. 39-29. Kiva Moore. Outside to Lindsay Peat. Just a 3 effort from Clark, doesn't drop. Possession to DCU. Clark inbounds it to Peat. Peat back to Clark. Clark back to Peat. That one doesn't go. Well rebounded. They're so much bigger, the Trinity girls. Morabito. Back to Levy. Oh, well won. That was a good steal from Tessa Solon. Peat drives, gives it inside, and that's possession to DCU. Excellent work on the boards there from Aoife McDermott. And we've got a timeout with a 10-point game. 6 minutes and 41 seconds to go. There's been some decent bouts of play from DCU, but they don't seem to be able to get the finishing touches.
Yeah, their shots are a little bit short. If Mimi can start, getting into the groove and get her shots going, then it'll be difficult for Trinity. But right now they're not falling, so they've got to keep on trying to get the ball inside, keep on trying to run transition. transition and get those easy layups rather than settling for the outside shots, because they're just not falling for them right now. Trinity are doing well, still getting their scores that they need, so hopefully DCU will try to close the gap so that it'll be much more of a closer game lead coming into the final quarter.
Todd, if you were a betting man now, the betting would have to be on Trinity, wouldn't it?
Well, Trinity is just exploiting more of their strengths than DCU is. You know, so I mean, if they keep going inside, they're going to get easier baskets. And I think Morabito is going to come more into the game, and that's going to stretch it if they does. Because if she starts scoring, and actually Ganser hasn't done a whole lot for a long time, so they have potential more chances to score if they get the right people into the game. When the ball goes inside for DCU, and kick it back out, they get pretty good shots, though.
Back in action, Kiva Moore. Outside to Lindsay Pete. Pete moves inside the key, outside to Clark. She's fouled. Levy with the foul. Clark about to inbound. Back to Lindsay Pete. Outside to Moore to Clark. Again, Clark's shots not going in. She's scored 4 points so far in the game, but she's had quite a lot of shots that didn't go. Good work, Clark away to Pete. Oh, that's nice work inside. But a little bit of a check there by McDermott, and unknowns to herself, it actually hit over more than checking it. So that stopped the ball going in for Amy Russell.
Yeah, you got to make sure with Christine and Aoife down there.
Yep.
You know, they're shot blockers, so you got to make sure you're doing up fakes and not just going straight up.
Yeah, yeah. They're big girls. Even Moore taking a break. And Amy Russell. Lindsay Pete about to inbound. 6 minutes to go. Sawatsky there putting herself about a bit, but well rebounded by Solon. Lindsay Pete.
I think that's 4 missed threes in a row there.
Yeah, it is by Mimi.
Clark.
Yeah.
She needs to step in about 6 feet.
Yeah, she's too far out altogether. Yep. Foul call there, and possession to DCU. Fiona Fitzsimon's coming in for Trinity, replacing Aoife McDermott. Her side up by 10 points. We haven't had a score for quite some time from either side. Pete, still Pete. Inside to Solon. Oh, that's a good one.
That's better.
Tessa Solon, yeah, that was much better. Yeah, they got to get it around. Yeah.
Because what happens is the defense will go inside and it leaves the outside more open. But if you just try to do it all from 25 feet, it's just too hard to come.
Yeah. No, that was nice, Tessa Solon. Travel is the call. We're back to an 8-point game. It's not over by any means, Megan.
No, and
Trinity is.
I know Mark probably hoped for, to make sure that he kept it close going into that final quarter.
Yeah, Trinity isn't scoring a whole lot themselves. They're keeping DCU in the game.
Yeah. Pete from outside. Rebounded away. Morabito. I don't think she's had a break in the game so far. She's been there all the time, I think. Gainser loses out to Clark. Good steal. I always feel when somebody really struggles and gets down and fights for the ball, and then they have to give it back to the other team.
That's the tough part about jump ball, but Hey, next one will be theirs then.
Morabito works inside. That's good.
Right there is where
That's
she'd
good.
be better penetrating.
Yeah, good score. Of course, if you want to go and see a lot of these girls play Premier League basketball, you can see them at various clubs throughout the country. A lot of them playing Premier and also Division 1 basketball. Levy from outside. Oh, that's two very important scores there. Levy and Morabito.
You know, there's a saying in the Bible, a prophet is without honor in his own country. Every time we go inside with either of these teams, something good comes out of it. When it stays outside and just shoot, they're not hitting.
Yep. Pete from outside. That's not going in. It's well rebounded. Solon back to Pete.
A good pass.
Nice work inside. Good
that was
score
a good
from
pass.
Jennifer Kirkin. .253 to go, third quarter. Aoife McDermott, she does show quality every now and again. You know, really, really good player.
Yeah. Just seems DCU is working so hard to get their points
and then they just come down. Yeah,
Trinity,
yeah.
so.
It's so difficult.
There's Lindsay for 2.
It's stretched into, well, it was a 13-point lead. That 2 brings it back to an 11-point lead with 2:29 to go. Oh, there's Morabito again. You know, she went through a phase there where she couldn't score at all, and now she's at 3 in a row.
Sometimes only a free throw can change your mindset.
Yeah.
You know, you just suddenly say, hey, I can make it.
Yeah. Oh, at the other end, we've got a beautiful score too. Back to a 12-point game with 2 minutes to go. Levy. Outside to Morabito. McDermott makes up her mind to go inside. Well rebounded by Kirkin. Pete drives. Still Pete. Loses out. Levy is outside. Baseline shot. Well rebounded. Taken by Morabito. Levy. Back to Levy. From way outside. McDermott is checked. It's away. To Tessa Solon. Solon back to Pete. Pete from outside. Doesn't work. Levy rebounded. And a good one there from Sawatsky.
She's played quite well. She really has.
She's a good shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she gets into place and she puts herself about a bit. She's quite a tough little character. Outside to Pete. Pete from way outside. Oh, big 3 for Lindsay.
Teresa Solon has actually played. Teresa Solon has played very well for DCU. I mean, she's done a lot of rebounding and stuff.
51-40 at the end of the third quarter. Morabito doesn't know the clock is down. This is one of my bugbears as a commentator. I can never understand when the offense starts with 9 seconds to go and we're going down to 2 and there's nobody on the bench telling you to shoot the ball. What is it like as a player, as a coach? I just cannot believe it happens every game I go to do.
Yeah, it does happen a lot. Sometimes it's hard for the bench to yell it out. It's hard to
Yeah.
But it happens a lot actually, but that's Players just need to be aware. Always aware of how much time is left.
That situation, she had the ball in her hands for 5 seconds, and then in the last kind of points of a second, she was trying to get the shot off.
Well, I guess when you're up 11 points, it's not as important if you're down by a couple points to try to get that last shot up.
True. That 3 from Lindsay Peat brought it back to an 11-point game. Is it retrievable for DCU?
It's retrievable if in the next 4 minutes of this game they make some head. If they play level, probably not. You know, they say the first 4 minutes of a game are kind of critical. Then when you start the second half, well, when you start the last quarter, if you're down, you have to put in their minds that you're coming back. So a couple scores, a 3, a layup, or whatever, can put them back in the game.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Would Mark be wanting his Mimi Clarks and his Lindsay Peats, who are shooters, to shoot the ball, or would he be looking for them to penetrate, try and get in? If they can't, bring it back out? What would he be looking for?
Well, when you think about it, how many free throws have been in this game?
I would say very few.
Yeah.
There hasn't been very many at all, and I think the refs are just actually letting them play. So.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's been very many fouls.
No, there hasn't really.
There hasn't been much of, you know.
Well, we'll see what's happening. Kiva Moore to Tessa Solon to Lindsay Peat. Possession is going to DCU. Lindsay down to inbound. Oh, steal. Levy breaks, knocks it back to McDermott. And there she is with the simplest of layups. Aoife McDermott. Kiva Moore. Given away. McDermott. Levy back to McDermott. Now that was excellent work by Lindsay Peat. She was down here fighting for rebounds, and she goes all the way down there, and she's the person who gets the hand in for the steal.
She's quick. She's a hustler, you know.
Yeah, and she's a Gaelic footballer.
A little bit of that Gaelic in her.
Gaelic footballer, yeah. Lindsay to Tessa Solon to Kiva Moore. Lindsay out on the base. Takes the shot, that's not going. Well rebounded and away. Morabito. Still Morabito. Good steal, Peat. Moore to Peat. 8 minutes and 33 to go.
Nice pass.
That is great vision and a good completion of the move.
Yeah, great pass by Lindsay Peat there, and a good finish.
McDermott back with Morabito. Kiva Moore to Lindsay Peat. Kept in, but given away to Levy. Levy all on her own. Levy makes the simple layup to make it a 57 points to 42 lead with less than 8 minutes to go. Women's final. Looking good for Trinity.
Does Levy play for Gloucester?
No, Levy is with Wildcats. Two sisters, excellent players actually, the two Levys.
Good defensively.
Yeah, she's a good player. And we're into the last 8 minutes. Morabito. Aoife McDermott pushes it outside. Back to Levy. Levy inside to McDermott. McDermott, Morabito. That doesn't go. Peat. Peat on the drive. Pushes it back to Solon. That's short. Levy away for Trinity. Inside McDermott. No, that's not McDermott.
That's Christine Gainser there.
Gainser. That doesn't go either. McDermott away. Morabito to Gainser. That's a travel. She's a little bit unlucky there. The ball went a little bit too far ahead of her, and she had to shuffle her feet to gain the momentum, but it didn't happen. Amy Russell back in for DCU.
DCU are doing all right here, getting some stops and getting
Yeah.
some lucky with
Yeah.
some travels and turnovers, but they're just not converting on the offensive end. They're not taking
that is
advantage
the problem.
of
Yeah.
those stops that they're getting and the turnovers that Trinity's making. So
it's something that you said at halftime. They've really got to convert the possession, and they're not converting the possession.
No, they've been hanging on the same score for quite a while here. You know, they have to generate more out of their defense so they can get scores where they're getting transition, where somebody like Lindsay can get out and go. They're not going to beat them today. They're not shooting well outside, so they're not going to beat them shooting outside. Right now, Mark's in trouble. You know, he's got to.
But I think, in fairness, Mark didn't expect to win this game today. I know
I think he knew.
That's un-Mark-like, but I think he knew that there were deficiencies in the squad.
Yeah, again, when I was talking to him before the game, he did say it's going to be a tough one. They had already lost by 20 or so in the regular league. So it was going to be tough, but still, even with that, he's not one to ever want to lose, and he's always going to, be pushing them and making sure that it tries to be a close game. If he has anything to do about it, he will. So
we'll see now what the girls in the timeout there have to say. Mark left them for the last 20 seconds to talk to themselves. Lindsay Pete.
.6.5 minutes here remaining in the Div.1 league. Is Trinity leading the score with 57 points.
Still Pete. Clark. Back to Pete. Football possession going to the team in white. Clark inbounding for DCU. Clark from outside for three again. It's just not, I think that's the fourth in a row now she's missed. Levy. Gainser, well taken by Clark. Good ball inside. Good score.
Trinity has really gotten some good scoring out of the people you wouldn't have expected, whether it was Swartzky. You know, I mean, you're going to expect McDermott to score, and you'd think Gainser and Morabito score. But it's really been a lot of their other players that have played well.
That have done well, yeah. It's been a spread. That's, again, good vision there from Lindsay Pete finding Amy Russell inside.
she drives well. She's able to get around defenders. And,
yeah.
And then the help has to come to her, and it's easy for her to just
dish it
off to the post
just dish it, yeah.
Lindsay is strong and quick.
Yeah.
If she would think of herself as doing the passes that she's done in this one more, I think she'd help the team actually more.
Clark is just not happening for her at all.
No, she is a shooter, but it's just not her day.
It's just not her day.
They never think they miss, though.
Shooter,
shoot.
But I said at the start of this game, Clark is a confidence player. She didn't start off with confidence, and it's difficult to try and get that back up. You know, she's only scored 4 points in the game. She's had probably 6 3-point attempts in the second half so far.
Yeah, and they've all been very short. So
yes,
she hasn't adjusted her shot, you know.
Yeah.
There's Lindsay with a drive and dish again.
Possession is going to Trinity. Owen Chubb the coach of Trinity, brings Morabito back into the game. And Sawatsky takes a break. She's done very well. Been very impressed by Christina Sawatsky. Morabito plays, of course, for Oblet Dynamo out of Oblet Hall in Inchicore. And good side, Oblet, in Division 1. McDermott is pickpocketed, but gets it back. That's what you like about a player. That's what you like about somebody like McDermott. She gets stripped, but she's fighting all the time to get the ball back.
Yeah, she's sticking with it. And that's a sign of a good player, someone who doesn't just give up when something like that happens. So,
Morabito inside to McDermott, back to Levy. Levy, quick feet inside. She's fouled. She's going to the free throw line. Fouls on Amy Russell. Tessa Solon is coming back into the game. Levy to shoot 2, 3:56 to go. First one doesn't pop. Second one is good. 3:57 to go, 62 to 46. Exactly Mark's worst nightmare. He didn't want this to break away. And we've now got a 16-point game. Clark given away. Possession is to DCU. Of course, coming up next game is the men's Division 1 final. That's between Carlow IT and NUIG from Galway. Backcourt violation. Possession to Trinity. Morabito. Oh, good steal. Good. Oh, there's an intentional foul there on Levy. There's no doubt about it. It was.
Yeah.
Not sportsmanlike. Yeah. She made sure she wasn't going there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fourth foul for Levy. So that's a good player. You know, she's done exceptionally well. First one is short. Megan now got to compose herself again. No, that's way short. Now possession from the halfway line. Trina White, who called that unsportsmanlike foul, gives it to Mimi Clark, to Lindsay Pete with 3:29 to go. 62 to 46. Connolly. Amy Russell. Still Russell. Connolly. Shot from Russell, rebounded by Solon. Back to Clark, and that doesn't drop. Solon. Back to Pete. Solon with the shot, well rebounded. McDermott away. Levy. Morabito. Gains her to McDermott. McDermott takes it to the base, is checked by Lindsay Pete. And that was a good call by Katrina White because it came back off McDermott, so it was a very good call.
Yep.
Kiva Moore coming back into the game. And also Emma Jane Vaughan for DCU. Megan Connolly reluctantly sits down on the bench. And Amy Russell, 2:15 to go. Pete from outside. Nothing seems to be dropping at that end for DCU at all.
Yeah, they're having a tough shooting game for sure.
Yeah. Baseline shot. Ah, Morabito with 3. Todd, we've been talking about Morabito. She's a good player.
Yeah, she's got good skills. You know, I mean, I was expecting that after the first half that she'd come more into the game, and she has.
Yeah. Again, she's one of the Sports Changers Life scholars that are over here. Lots of men and women over here doing master's degrees in our colleges over here, which is good to see. Substitutions for Trinity. Owen Chubb running his bench a little bit now, 65. They're up by 19 points with 1:40 to go. Clark. Oh, that's first 3.
It was a 2. First one.
Oh, 2 was it? Sorry.
Yeah, but it was a long 2.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a little bit too late now.
Yeah, yeah. Straight back the other end, we've got McGregor. Lindsay Pete. Clark. Kiva Moore makes the 2. Kiva Moore started off very well in the first half and picked up 6 points quite early on. That one doesn't count. A minute to go.
A foul before the
before the
steal that Lindsay just got.
And she doesn't even get the benefit of the free throws. She's got possession. And Lindsay taking a break and getting an excellent round of applause from the supporters, because there's no doubt about it, no matter what game Lindsay plays, whether it's colleges, whether it's for DCU in Mercy, whether it's for Dublin, whether it's for Parnell's in the club, she just is 100% all the way.
She is. She's a great athlete. She has a great mindset and attitude. And
very
she's always
intelligent player.
Yeah.
In all sports, very intelligent. I know I was at the All-Ireland football final. We talked about this a few weeks ago when she was playing against Cork. And I have to say, I was sitting in the press box and I really thought Dublin were going to win that All-Ireland. And I'm sure Lindsay did too. But I almost cried when Cork took it in the end, because Dublin probably deserved to win that one.
Yeah, they did.
And you just hope that she gets the opportunity to win All-Ireland, because she definitely deserved an All-Star and didn't get it. So hopefully she'll get something this year.
Yeah.
That's first one is good for Rebecca O'Keefe. And the second for Rebecca. 69 to 53, 37 seconds to go. Mimi Clark has gone to the point with Lindsay sitting on the bench.
Next rebound, goes back to Clark.
Clark to Moore. And as a 24-second violation again, it's back to my bugbear. Nobody moved on the bench to tell them that time was almost up. So
well, they didn't get a shot off. It just hit the top of the the top of the board.
Yeah, but they got the shot off when it was way too late.
Yeah.
And as we reach the end of our third quarter, 69 points to 53. The music is blaring, Todd, but, you know,
all you can ask from your team is to play hard. If physically they're not equal to the other team, they can make up for some things by playing team defense.
Yeah.
I mean, DCU, had they made some of their shots, they might have been in this. But, you know, gave credit to Trinity.
It wasn't to be. I think I actually said that was the end of the third quarter, slip of the tongue there. But that's the end of the game, and the winner is on the scoreline of 69-53. Trinity. I think, Megan, we did expect that.
Yeah, they just have. There's so much talent on that team, from 1 to 10. A lot of different tools, and anyone can score on that team, and you can see that. You know, the points were very divided. I think McDermott probably ended up maybe with the most points in the end, maybe.
Yeah.
But you know, it was divided between everyone, the points and everything. They're a great team, great group of girls, lots of talent over there. So it was always going to be hard for DCU.
Because, you know, like, I mean, Trinity hasn't been a hub of basketball, and I suppose the fact that they brought in the sports changes life people. They've also brought in Eva McDermott. You know, they've got good players now in Claire Levy, and you know, there's a few decent players around there, and as we said, Sawatsky and Sayestad, both good players. So it's all coming at the right time and all coming at the same time.
It is, because if you look maybe 2 years ago, they wouldn't have had any of these sort of players over at Trinity. So, you know, it's a good year for them. They have all that talent going to Trinity. So,
well, the president of Basketball Ireland, Jerry Kelly, is getting ready to make the presentations to the team. So we'll leave you to the stadium announcer, Daniel O'Mahony, to announce all of the players being presented with the trophies by Jerry Kelly.
1 2 1 2 testing 1 testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2 testing 1 testing 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2 3 4 1 2 testing 1 2 1 1 2 3 4 testing 1 2 3 4 testing 1 2 testing 1 2 3 4 testing 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2 testing 1 2 3 4 all right David down perfect looks good yeah